All right, welcome to Woo Mommas podcast. We have a guest with us today. Katie's in the house. Woo! Miss Katie. So, all of you watching right now, we are Woo Mommas. It's Colleen C and Gina P. This is our program, and we have Katie W with us today. We are all a part of the Healing Pittsford, New York. We are all practitioners here, and you're going to get to know each one of us in great detail. So our first is Katie. And Katie, why don't you start by telling us what you do and all the good stuff.
Well, where should I begin? The first question.
Yeah, so when did your journey into this healing practice begin?
Okay, so about 15 years ago, I had some symptoms and issues, problems that I was unable to find answers and healing for. I tried a whole bunch of things for 5 years, and some of my symptoms were a cracked, sore hand, bleeding hand, and it would become inflamed. Let's say I couldn't lose weight, some overwhelm, anxiety issues, and all this actually stemmed from my fourth child. And so I came across what I do, TBA, Total Body Analysis, from my people in Buffalo. And when I went down there, I sat in their chair and they did their thing. And they said that I had a heavy metal in my thyroid, and I had gotten it from a flu vaccine at the time when I was pregnant with my fourth. So they gave me a remedy, tincture, and within 3 days of taking the drops, I could taste the heavy metal coming out. And it confirmed, because years before that I'd had a allergy testing, and there were 5 allergies: thimerosal, nickel, lanolin. I forget the other 2, but so I knew that correlated or connected with that, and answered a lot of questions. And my hand, so it's been since 2009. My hand has been healthy, and so the light bulb went on, and it was like, and I just kept asking the question, why? So it brought me to these people in TBA, and I feel like I'm healed from that.
Wow.
For good.
Yeah.
And that was very important. It was like not just temporarily.
Right. You went to the root.
I went to the root.
Yeah.
Yes. And was very persistent on why.
So your allergy testing, that was done so you went to a traditional, a doctor, you got allergy testing.
Yes.
Which is kind of neat that you did that, because it gave you confirmation, to know that information.
Yes. I still have my forms. I still, I saved all that.
Really neat.
So how did you hear about them?
Oh, I was going to get my eyebrows done, and a technician who she had known that I had been looking for some healing modality, something else, because I feel like I was running out of options.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she had told me about the people in Buffalo at Cross Current Health, and so I came home from that appointment, booked an appointment, and 2 months later, I went down there to East Aurora, and that's
this
how it
technician that did your eyebrows, I'm going in a different direction with
That's
this
okay.
for 1 second.
Okay. Woo Mommas.
Is that somebody that you always go to? Was she a consistent person that you always saw?
not consistent, but yes,
Okay.
I would ask for her.
Okay. Because, you saw her and she connected you. You see how we're all interconnected?
Yes.
We meet the
Yes.
people we're supposed to.
Yes.
So that was my point.
Yeah.
And you know what? Pay attention to that,
Yeah.
right? So people that are listening right now or watching, pay attention to those connections. I mean, this is, we're in the physical plane, but there's all these spiritual things, nuances happening all the time, And so when we awaken to those, I mean, you awoken because you had need, right? You had need.
Right.
Yeah.
So wherever your need is, like, pay attention. Who's in front of you? Who are you? What can you ask? What can you look for?
Our body is constantly communicating with us.
Yes, exactly.
And we're so used to, when the physical, it's easy for us to, okay, we need to find a solution for that.
Right.
But what this also did for me was it opened up the door for learning more about myself, spiritually, emotionally.
Yeah.
That was like the big thing.
I mean, it literally launched you in a brand new direction.
It totally did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so when you say spiritually and emotionally, you got to know yourself. Is that how you would describe total body analysis? I mean, that's when you work with clients now. Is that something that you say to them?
Yes.
This is for emotional and spiritual healing
Yes.
as well?
Whether they understand that or not, because again, it all has to start somewhere. And I
Right.
didn't understand it, but through doing this over the last 14 years,
Yeah.
it has just made it broaden my understanding.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do for my clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to help them, because we're all on our journeys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And things manifest physically, and we think that it's only in the physical. And there's a story behind
So do
it.
people get, like, when you're having a session with somebody and you're starting to bring up all of this stuff that, baggage, whether it's, emotional, and you're picking up on all this stuff, what is their reaction?
it's all over the place. So again, as I've learned over the years, I ask people, what is your background in alternative or energy healing, or just so I can give them the language, kind of the dialogue. Yeah,
Gives us
yeah,
a direction or a
yeah.
start.
Because
How
I'm
far
so
can you
used
go?
to,
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
the way I talk, and some people will be like, "What is she saying? I don't get what spiritual means. I'm not a spiritual person." Well, then they go thinking it's religion or something like that. It's like, no, it's our essence, it's our soul, and
Baseline. You sort of interview almost,
yes,
right?
yeah. And so a lot of their reactions. So I deal with a lot of the Bach flowers, or if they come up, which are some flower essences. And I always say, these personalities. So if they come up, I have them read the one that when I muscle test and it comes up, it's not your personality, but in a certain situation, you may feel like this, or there's a person around you that is like this, or it was, some people have said, oh, like 10 years ago, I might have been like that. And I say, well, you're ready to heal this part.
Ooh, that's
Right.
so good. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing that we always neglect, right? The stuff from the past. We think it's over because it's in the past.
Because you've buried it and you
Yes.
think that it's not there,
Yeah.
but it's still there.
Yep,
And,
that's a good point.
you
Yeah.
know, and I think it's important for people to understand, because you said, energy, you might have been feeling this way, or people around you. People forget that other people's energy really does impact
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
It can have like a profound effect depending on the
Yep.
situation.
And that's what it
So-
just is bringing their attention, or I'm bringing their attention to, okay, what is that stress? Is it at home? Is it a person? Is it your kids? Is it work?
Yeah.
Is it someplace you go? Is it the grocery store? I mean, it's like, so we really hone in on
Yeah.
what are your stresses, because we all have stresses. So what is it that's causing that physical ailment?
Yes. And so for the listeners, I go to Katie. So Katie is one of my practitioners, and Katie has helped me. What just happened?
My phone fell. Sorry.
Because you're holding your arm.
Oh, could that be it?
Okay. Yeah. So just a little faux pas there, but we're keeping it real,
Okay.
right? Yeah. So I go to Katie, and I also go to Gina as well. And Katie helped me tremendously. I mean, it's an interesting experience because you sit in her office with her, and she does all of these bits and bobbly kind of things, and you're like,
I didn't describe it.
and you're kind of like, what's going on? What's happening? And I'm woo, so I'm like, and I'm still going, what's happening?
I know.
And she's tapped into, and this is the thing, right? All the practices in the world and the ohms, and I'm not, knocking the ohm people, but I'm just saying that all the meditation, all the going out, by yourself and sitting on a mountaintop to find your spirituality, to connect, for all that is, right? Mm-hmm. We're literally like just walking around and stuff comes to us, right? And so, and it's available to everyone, right?
Yes.
Everyone has it.
We all have that. Whatever you want to call it, your inner guide, your intuition. What would you call it?
Intuition.
Yeah.
But again, I'm pretty basic. So, I mean, that's just what I've, again, learned, and it's a comfortable word. I think a lot of people can, because we're born with that.
I think they can connect with that word. I know, we always have to find, a word or you have to a comparison so that people are familiar with to make them understand different things.
Yes,
so
that's a good point.
Yeah, so I think intuition is a good word, and just some people have stronger because they're more tapped in.
Yes.
And they want to be. So, and I just want to say I had an experience with Katie too, because I went to her, and it's really because of her that we even found I was recently diagnosed with Hashimoto's. Never had an issue with my thyroid, and my TSH is normal. But she was like, your T4 is low, and they gotta order that. Something is going on with your thyroid. And before she left for vacation one time, but it was right before I was diagnosed, finally. I didn't even have an appointment. She was just in passing. She's like, yeah, we got to talk when I get back. Your thyroid, something's up with your thyroid. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And I said, well, while you're gone, I had my appointment. And sure enough, they did the antibody test, and it was, it turned up positive. I have antibodies for it, but yet my TSH is normal, but my T4 is low. So if I didn't have that one number to show me that I need to dig deeper,
it's digging deeper.
So
we have to go deep. We do, whatever the situation is. Right? We have to go deep and go to the source. That's what I always say.
And a lot of, from what even you're telling me, is reminding me that I've learned a lot of these things from my own experiences. So thyroid, again, when I had the heavy metal and I was crashed, I didn't have enough energy and all that. And so that tapped, I remember some of that. And then it's just been through my clients that I learn from their experiences and their ailments and symptoms. And I just learn everything from them and from myself. Yes. So I think experience is pretty powerful than just reading. And I mean, I do a lot of reading, but it's based on that.
Working in it. Yeah. And it's really nice because now, because I know how you work and what you're looking for, because I just could not, I couldn't understand it until I actually did it. And then it's like, it makes sense to me. Like, it does make sense.
Oh, so, you could keep coming, and there's probably some things that I'm going to pull.
Pull a lot.
But just different tools. I have so many different tools that you have not even seen.
Oh, I'm sure. To be continued.
Yeah.
But it's nice because now I know intuitively when I have a client, because I've learned just from being here with all the different practitioners that we have, that healing really happens on so many different levels. It's not just about having an energy healing. Sometimes I know when to send them to you now. Like, I know who has to go to Katie. Yes. I know who has to go to Kolein. Like, whether it's talking, physical detoxification, which leads to emotional detoxification. I'm starting to feel like I understand when they need a different type of detox for the emotional piece of it. So that's been really nice.
That is
for
good.
Me.
That is good.
And it's a wonderful synergy too, because like there'll be times I have the same experience with clients, and I'll be like, "Yep, they need something from Gina. They need something from Katie." And I think we kind of all do this here at the Healing House.
Yeah, it's really
nice.
great.
And it's nice to not have for people. We just have a whole, building full of people. Like, okay, go see this person.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Good to have the resources
it's a
right
perk.
here. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a nice perk.
So who is your client? Like who is a typical person that comes to your client, or who is your client just in general? Like, who do you see? Children, adults, both?
I have seen every,
Animals
I don't
too.
know.
and
Yeah, and
animals
pets.
too,
Don't
yes.
forget the pets. Yes.
Pets. Yeah, horses, cats, dogs. I think I did a snake once. I don't know, a pet snake. But people of, again, all ages. I think my oldest was probably 80s. Youngest, I mean, just newborns.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it's pretty much anybody.
Anybody.
It's
Yeah.
not going to hurt you. You
No,
can only
no,
help,
and that
right?
was you're right.
Yeah, that's
No, so it's been fun again, and it's usually people who have had such a good experience, and then they want to share, and so yeah, and everybody and anybody.
Yeah, and I know you can also do remote, because you were
Oh, yeah,
working on my
yep.
dog, and I had some of his fur in a little baggie, and I put the remedy on top of it.
Yep. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
works because every living, non-living thing has energy. We're all connected. So for the remote, I either do I have a person send a selfie or a picture, or the pets too. I feel like that's easier and more conducive to our work environment if I just do the pets remotely. So I do that, and then I do over the phone. Or again, if the person sends me a picture, then I can get to it and then send them the remedy mail.
wow.
And then I, consult with them on the phone.
So you don't
over
have
it.
to live here. Like
You
we
don't.
No, I have
We
clients
actually
everywhere.
all do
Yeah.
remote work.
Yeah.
I think
Do, yeah.
pretty much every practitioner in the building does
You're right.
remote
Yeah.
work,
I
which
know.
is really nice.
Power of energy
So,
healing. It's just
Yeah.
so cool. And again, that's why I pursued this, which I tell a lot of people, because in 2014 or 2009, I mean, I knew my kids were going to be older and gone.
Yeah.
And of course, I wanted to have a way that I could take care of them from a distance and for any health related. And sure enough, this has helped because they're all going in different directions.
Yeah. It happens
And
fast.
It does. So it's
Yeah.
been,
And then we need a remedy for that.
oh my
Yeah.
God, everything. I know.
Could you-
I know.
Could you make me a remedy for that?
I could try.
We're all becoming empty nesters.
My God.
Yeah.
They're like flying the coop one by one.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Big transition, right?
yeah.
Big transition.
Yes.
And trying to figure out who we are as mothers in that transition, because we will always and forever be mothers, but
Yeah.
the mothering changes, right?
Yeah.
It does. And how we do that.
Yeah.
And again, because I have had some healing treatments from Gina and Kolein, so this has been useful for incorporating into what I do or help people too, because there's an understanding of how that works. And I can't do everything. I don't know how to do everything, and we have to ask for help,
Yeah.
and we have to
Right.
have other modalities
Yeah.
to help us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled because this is really an alternative place. This is a
Yes.
place for, mind, body, spiritual healing, balance, and wellness. And it is out of the it's out of the box, okay, to most people, but not to us.
No, this is
But this is who we are.
This
We've
is-
been like this
yeah.
for a long
Yeah.
time. And the fact that we all found each other, the signs and wonders. I mean, here we
Yes.
are. They're all around, and pay attention. Pay attention to what your signs are. Pay attention to what the wonders are that are in your life around you, happening for you right now.
Right.
But we are alternative, and so there's this place that I find, and I know Gina and I have talked about it, and Katie, where people are at the end of their rope. They don't know They've tried everything,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so now they're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try this other thing. It's out of the box. It doesn't belong to a system that I'm familiar with.
Correct. And that's how I found what I found, because I had tried so many, didn't give up. There is an answer. And I was at the end of my rope, and I was like, I will do anything.
Yep.
And again, I went to nursing school, and I was of that, I just would go and I trusted them, but then I couldn't get answers. So I had to find something else.
Right.
Yeah. And what I'm learning too is that what we were just talking about, getting to the source.
Yes.
When we get to the source, we can actually be cured.
Yep.
So
it's the most important part of
it's
healing.
the most
I mean,
important part.
you know, not putting a Band-Aid over it,
Yeah.
or, masking a problem.
Yeah.
It's like a real weed. Are you going to keep cutting it? It's
Oh,
going to grow
I
back,
like
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
gotta pull it out.
Yeah. So this is wonderful. Okay. So you kind of already did describe this, but one of the other questions that we had was, how do your sessions work, and what should someone expect when coming to see you?
Okay, so when somebody comes, I allow an hour, just for if it is if it's a first consult, they don't know what to expect, so I allow an hour. It doesn't really take as long as that. They bring their supplements or their medications, and they sit near me. I have a bunch of tools, all of my tools in my toolbox, and the biggest part are these vials, and there's a protocol. So I go through the TBA protocol, the total body analysis, and things will come up, and we'll talk. And first, before that, I have them fill out an intake form.
Yeah.
And I don't look at it. So I say, list all your things that you want to fix, you want to heal, symptoms, however, it relates to them. So some people are 10 things, some are just like nothing. I just want to see what you got. So it doesn't matter, because I tell them that it's their brain that is telling me what's going on, because we're electrical. Mm-hmm. We're an electric system, and our bodies are electrical. And so I go through the TBA protocol. Again, we discuss some things, and at the end, this is how I started out doing it, but now that my toolbox has gotten so big, I just do a full body evaluation. I do, go through hormones or nutrition, so if they need extra supplements, if they need essential oils, if they need, massage or chiropractor or other healing modalities, Reiki. Again, I go through my list, and so, because I've always said I like to get their healing sooner, faster, more efficiently. Mm-hmm. So if we can incorporate a synergy of healing modalities at the same time.
Yeah.
And because of my advanced muscle testing, I test, these are custom for the client. So they know what they're getting is what their body is asking for.
Yes. And so I
Amazing.
noticed that when I have sat with Katie, you usually are touching, like, our legs.
Knee to knee, or
knee.
the foot,
Yeah. And so you're picking up the energy from the person, their vibration. So you're connecting.
Yes.
Directly with.
Correct.
That. Okay.
Correct. And again, it's their brain. It's like a computer, and it keeps track 24/7.
Yeah.
All around you, even the things you're not paying attention to. It's picking up on that.
Okay.
So again, other people's energies, or at the office or something like that.
Yeah.
It's recording all that. So it's in there somewhere.
Wow.
And I'm just pulling it out.
That is so neat.
And so you also use the pendulum.
I use a pendulum.
Pendulum. So what does a pendulum do for you? Does it okay, you
No,
answer.
I mean, no. So for me, it's a visual. If I just see something, but again, it's like my intuition on training wheels, because I'm not just totally trusting my intuition, because you can just get answers by just being quiet and getting it. And I need a free hand to move with the vials, but I've learned to read it very efficiently. It's different, everybody's energy. So if you have a pendulum, your yes and no go different ways. They go up and down, they go crossways, they stop. So I've learned how to read my special pendulum. I do it. I tell them I go grocery shopping with it. I'm like in bed with it, like asking questions. I just am constantly. I've lost it so many times, but then I've end up finding it. So it's just maybe one day I won't need it, but right now it's very helpful.
Yeah.
So in that. So it's a visual.
It's a visual, and it's like a navigational tool.
Oh, I like that. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's really cool. Yeah.
So I have a question. Do you have to do any sort of protection on yourself, like either daily or at least before you work on someone?
Like, no. Which I'm always like, should I? Whatever. But like, maybe. And then it will hit me because then I'll have to come see one of you guys. And I'm like, something is off because maybe I was so tired or I didn't listen to my body. And I shouldn't have done so much energy work. Because again, energy is really depleting if you're not
and that's
careful.
why I was wondering, because when you're connecting, you're connecting with someone's energy.
Yes.
So like I know, like when I do it, I always make sure I have full protection before.
I don't know why, but I'm not gonna really question it because it's been working for
but,
me.
You've
but
been doing this for 14 years.
I know.
You're still standing. So
maybe I don't know.
I was just curious about.
I haven't figured that out. I kind of know, but I think
you know. Gotta trust.
I just know, but like I said, like if I'm just feeling run down or something, then I need somebody to do some work on me.
Yeah, and it's like clearing.
Yes,
it's like getting it clear.
And it's amazing because I just told you I need something because hence the throat, my voice, feeling run down. Need to clear something.
I think anybody doing any type of energy work. And I'm not even talking like the woo-woo kind of energy work, even nurses, doctors, like everybody needs to take care of themselves and kind of like cleanse themselves because you're just daily just
time for yourself. To recharge, right?
Everybody, you're absorbing your patient's energy, like no matter how you're working with them,
and to recognize that when you got to slow down for just 10 minutes.
Yeah. And be aware that you need to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We'll know sometimes it'll be like a
thought
dangling somewhere around, and then we're like, we push that away. Yeah, and for me, it's the same thing. I will absorb at different times, and other times I'm like,
and then you don't.
Nothing. I could go weeks and weeks and weeks, and there's nothing. And then all of a sudden, maybe because I'm off, or maybe because of something that was shared, even it opened something up that was kind of shut off for me, and now I become aware. So I'll call you guys, and then have some of that taken care of. And so if you need a clearing, if you feel kind of stuck, if you feel. If you have some physical conditions that, are just sort of gnawing at you over and over and you're not getting any answers, really.
That's a sign.
So the name of your business
Energy Works Health.
Energy Works Health. I know you're on Instagram, and they can reach you there. And also the Healing House, through the Healing House as well.
The Healing House.
Yeah.
And let's give your... Do you want to give your phone number?
Sure.
Give your phone number.
Yeah. 585-329-9791.
Okay. And that's Miss Katie.
Yeah.
So, So, thank you so
much. It was so
much.
nice having you. And
thanks. That was a blast.
Our first guest with something really it's interesting. It really truly is fascinating. I was dying to know, like, how does she work? And it's nice to know it and feel it and know now when I need to send somebody your way.
I know. And I'm constantly learning new things to, again, incorporate. So I always like to just share.
Continuing education is everything, right? I think we all do it. Like, we have to.
We have to,
right? You have to keep up on everything.
I
so
know.
we can bring the best to our clients.
That's right.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you out there for listening and watching. And we will say goodbye for now, and we'll see you next time on
Yes.
Woo Mommas podcast.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.